Hey, how's it going everyone? Saints fan here, and hopefully you guys are enjoying The Division as much as I am. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you 10 tips and things you may not know, which will hopefully help you learn a little bit more about the game. The gameplay in the background isn't really that important, so you don't need to focus too much, but the tips, I'm going to start from sort of most general, and then we're going to get into some specifics towards the end. The first thing that you may not know is that each character, even though the character customization isn't the greatest, some characters or some heads do have different features. For example, just on this male character alone, he has a much bigger beard than any of the other characters. As well, you can see his hair is a little bit different if you do decide to go bald. So if you haven't made a character yet, or if you do plan on making a second character, you may want to go through all of the different options just to see, because honestly there aren't that many, so you may want to go through them just to see which ones you'll like more. In addition to that, you can have up to 4 characters, different characters, and each one will start with a different set of clothes. And if you didn't know, clothes were actually shared with all of your characters, so if you want some more options, you may want to look into just going through the tutorial for 3 other characters so your main person can have a bunch of different choices. Some menu tips that you may not know about, and I'm not sure how this works on the console, you may want to check, but on PC at least, there are 2 things you want to look into. One, make sure or go into the options and turn your voice chat to push to talk, because default it is on at all times, and if you're in the dark zone, you're talking to your friends in TeamSpeak or in Skype, trying to come up with some plans to kill some other people, well, guess what? If it's not on push to talk, everybody can hear you, and then they know what you're going to do. So make sure you change it to push to talk. That is in the audio tab. And then there's also another option. If you go into the general options, I think it is, and go to the very bottom, there's a parkour mode. Now, there's sort of mixed feelings on this parkour mode, but what it allows you to do when you're running, it'll automatically vault you over the objects in front of you, which comes in handy if you're just running across the map. But I will say, in fights, it does sometimes get annoying because you'll be trying to hide and then your guy will just vault over the cover that you're behind. So you may want to look into it. It is a pretty cool feature, but it's not for everyone. Now, some beginner gameplay tips. So one, I would highly suggest starting with the security wing first, because when you do that mission, it actually gives you a 10% increase to all experience gains, which, you know, the quicker you can get an experience boost, then the better. Also, early on in the game, when you get a lot of those white and green weapons or items, don't sell them. It's better to dismantle them, because you don't get that much money for selling them, actually. And those parts that you get for deconstructing those items, you can actually use to create higher end materials for crafting. Plus, if you were wondering, for that crafting, there are no purple and white crafting materials. There's only green, blue, and gold or yellow. Purple items, I think, actually break down into double the amount of blue crafting materials. But just from playing the game a lot over the past few days, I rarely ever buy stuff. Like, I have a lot of money, but the only things I've ever purchased were cosmetic items from the vendor that sells the clothing. In terms of weapons and items, in terms of weapons and other items, you mainly find the best ones from enemies, especially in the dark zone. So deconstructing is definitely a better choice than selling the items. Another gameplay tip, safe houses, and this one's kind of common knowledge, or you would assume, but just in case you didn't know, safe houses can actually become a fast travel point if you go to them and like unlock it, so to speak. In addition, in those safe houses, you can get a list of all the side missions and encounters in that area. And speaking of those side missions, if you were wondering like what's the benefit of doing side missions, they will give you blueprints to get better gear. Okay, so I think we're on number 7 for the tips, but either way, this is something that I actually just learned today, and this isn't beneficial, I guess, unless you are going to be making another character. However, the stash inside of your base of operations goes between all 4 of your characters. As you can see here, I'll put up a clip on the screen. I just made this character, he's level 4, but in the stash, there's all the items I have from my level 16 character. So the obvious benefit to this is if you do plan on making another character, you might want to save some of those pretty good blue or green guns for the lower levels for that new character. Unfortunately though, there's only so many items you can actually stash in the stash. To get more, what you can do, for mods at least, you can equip those mods to guns or to the armor parts that it goes on. And now those 2 items will actually become 1 in the stash. So if you have a bunch of mods, in addition to weapons and armor, go ahead and combine them and you get more room. And then these last 3 tips, these are just some tips for fighting enemies. So one, and this might seem common knowledge, but you would be surprised how many people don't do this. Use your consumables. Consumables are so helpful, and you might be thinking, but I don't have time to drink some water or eat some canned food in the middle of battle, but trust me, they will help you a lot. Some of them heal 40% faster, some of them do 40% more damage. The best one to use on elite enemies especially is the incendiary bullets. The beautiful part about those is that when you shoot enemies, they will catch on fire, and because of that, they will start to like try and pat themselves, so they won't be shooting at you, and in the time that he's doing that, you and your friends can unload on him and easily take down his shields. Also, if you and your friends are having trouble with all of the snipers that are in these missions, then the easiest way to defeat the snipers is to get close to them. They do a ton of damage with the actual sniper rifle. However, when you get close to them, they will pull out their secondary, which sucks, and then you can easily take them out. So hopefully you guys learned some stuff from this video. If you did, go ahead and drop a like. That'd be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other questions you want me to answer in a video, just go ahead and let me know in the comment section. And if you have any other tips you want to pass on to new players or other players, then go ahead and leave those down in the comments as well. Anyway, thank you guys for watching again. See you guys in the next video. Subscribe for more awesome Division content. And as always, see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.